really just comes down to, can they stabilize in the first 10 to 14 minutes and make sure they don't lose too much of that priority, because otherwise these side lanes are going to be playing the game by themselves, very isolated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of worried about even when we get into a 5v5, like good scaling, but what does it matter if you have so many denial tools and so many angles to play it here for Dewish team? But nevertheless, SEM9 versus DWT means only one thing. It means the first game win for these organizations in summer. But if SEM9 can do it, more so, this team will pick up its first game win all year round. SEM9 have been reeling for it. But Nightstar, by the sound of what you're setting me up for, I feel like your suspicion on this draft makes it so you're not really favoring them coming into this game, and that SEM9 have played a bit of a riskier option in how they, go past that mid game you were already mentioning before.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really tough draft to execute. I feel like for SEM9, if they're trying to play, trying to find a lane to play through, of course, it has to be that Gnar pick, and Arashi maybe try and set up some sort of vertical jungling. Maybe just try and split the map and make sure that No Name is able to just find 1v1 kills. He goes maybe a hull breaker after the Trinity Force, and you just kind of 1v9s that top half of the map. I feel like that's their most reliable point of attack, and then once, of course, Corki rockets do come online, maybe then you're able to find those pressure points. But for the most part, SEM9, we'll need to see how the early game plays out, really, because I'm struggling to find their win conditions early on.
I feel like there's a lot to break down with the draft. I mean, we haven't even talked about the Scion fasting lane here for Caspiel and Axon. Worth mentioning here that, we normally see it with Tom. Scion is a bit of a rare thing, but at least they're going to have more of a front line in the draft. And we can continue exploring here, Nightstar, because the way I see it is that once mid-game hits for Dewish team, if they're equal, think about the skirmishing, the all-in, the tools. Yes. Hell, even in the laning phase, mid-jungle 2v2 has quite a lot of burst with Electrocute on the Silas, with the all-in too. I feel like Dudu has to get through this lane calmly. Otherwise, if this Corki falls apart, then, well, maybe everything falls apart for SEM9 as well.
Yeah, and the scaling power is certainly there with the Corki and the Senna. This combination is really, really oppressive once you get to the late game, right? Because you just outrange so many champions in the game once you get those Senna stacks stacked up. And that'll also be an important thing to keep track of, which, like, Caspiel on the Senna should have a lot of success because he is into Braum. He should be able to farm up a lot of these Senna souls. But we actually need to see that come through. But if they're able to get late game, the opening is there. It's just a matter of, can they get to that break point?
Yeah, again, it's just how you get there is always the biggest question. Now, we mentioned SEM9 a little bit here. We can look at what Dewish team are going to start doing in the lane. Already a bit of a CS lead through mid, but maybe that's with the wave pushing out. I've noticed in the top side here, WSL looking for a lane gank, but that brush position with Fog of War only just works out. No Name not spotting this out. A ping comes through as the Arctic Assault manages as well, but Cune is just going to continue pushing him out while WSL plays the patient game in the top side.
Yeah, and he's going to have to spend a lot of time here because he needs to wait for this wave to bounce back, or No Name going aggressive once he hits Mega, which should be shortly. They're going to have to really bait this one out here because the wave really isn't in a position where he's going to make a mistake or bait it out.
If he crunches in, though, it could be a different story. However, WSL still so patient. So for Lacunai, as he watches that wave get cleared up and No Name walks up. Right now, the Wukong's still waiting in. No Name is trying to play at range as he walks into lane, but WSL has been here for so long. He's committed so much time to this lane. They're hoping the kill comes through as No Name continues to do so much damage.
They're waiting for him to jump.
He has the hop available, and yeah, if he does it aggressive, he's dead, but WSL's still here. He's still here. The Wraith comes through. No Name okay now.
Wait.
But
Oh!
WSL's gone!
Oh!
Like Kunai Arctic Assault's out. That was just horrible. Oh.
I thought the plan was there.
Jungle's now one-sided. Look at the
Oh.
CS. Oh, dear Lord. Gotta love it.
Yeah, and this is one of the things about Wukong is that you kind of power farm the 6 and you just continuously attack these lanes off of ult cooldown. But he's given up a little bit of free time to Arashi, and Arashi is just very, very far ahead. He's going to get this dragon on top of it, and now you got bonus souls coming in from Senna. This is really, really nice for the Senna early on. Arashi's getting a lot of EXP differential here as well because he's just so far ahead when it comes to camps. And he's going to have much more available for him to farm. As now WSL yet another lane gank.
Ooh, but this time might be more successful. At least gets a flash out from Caspiel. Zaxxon burns his own as well. Didn't want to get those concussive blows stacking up. And hey, you got to give him credit for this one. At least in the right time and the right place. And it does work out nicely. Is
Level 6.
Kunai getting all in because No Name knows that Jungler's bot side. He flashes in for the wallop against the wall. The damage is hitting each and every marker. No Name has looked so good. Add one into the mix. Give him a name now. A solid good first blood is, yeah, the 4-man you mentioned. Xiaotu is level 6 and Undertara Caspiel stands no chance, but a decimating smash that hits away. Xiaotu's taken turret. He almost dies, and a close call for Dewish team in the bot side, but they get the kill. But what does it cost here, Nightstar?
It's only going to cost them 1 plate. Corki doesn't exactly do a whole lot of tower damage, so not too much is the cost, but the 1v1 kill, instrumental up top side, because that means this Gnar is getting rolling. We get to see the replay. There was a bit of an extended fight because, of course, it is Sejuani, who is very durable, but No Name just slowly dogs him down. You just can't get away from Gnar at this point. Mini Gnar transformation, get the extra move speed, so even if he had flash, which he doesn't because it is Sejuani, and there's just no way to get out of that.
I mean, you were talking a lot about this Gnar lane, and you got to give yourself credit here, Nightstar. You hit the nail on the head when you talked about SEM9 having a lane that can actually play out the early game quite swiftly. Already, he does it himself, and it comes through that delayed gank from WSL. And I'm starting to think WSL stands for, what would SOFM like to do? And at this point, SOFM resonates with this player. Like, he would sit there for a minute and a half brush gank. I tell you what, he'd sit there for longer. And right now, he might get the response on the bottom side that gives a good dive kill to Xiaotu, but the problem is Arashi is still up massively in CS, getting closer towards the Umbral Glaive. And as he starts Herald here, look at where he is. I mean, they're going to try and dive again, but they're going to lose this Herald.
It's also a Scion, so he is going to take a little bit of effort to dive, and even then, you have to deal with his clone.
Concussive blows is there. Then ulti at melee range. They're trying, but Enhao tanks it up perfectly, and WSL does get out. So a good dive nevertheless, but Caspiel moved up to the Herald, and Xiaotu is so deep in the lane when they knew that SEM9 were topside.
That was definitely an unnecessary death coming in from Xiaotu. Proper response coming in from Dewish team, going for the dive in that bottom lane. Even though it takes a little bit of effort, they still are able to get the kill in relatively clean fashion. And now they're going to set up for a top dive here. Lakunai, he's in trouble.
Well, there's Mega Gnar coming through, but the problem is No Name doesn't have flashes. He gets him against the wall. Arashi's burst damage might be enough. That collateral damage, gorgeous. Arashi on fire thanks to his early farming, and with Herald in pocket. I mean, we're getting a replay here, but let's be real. Top's dead
Caspiel's
anyway.
here, yeah. Oh, no!
That wasn't good.
All right.
That was... Nightstar, let me just say one thing. You knew Sion was solo down the bottom lane. So Xiaotu making a mistake, and this is what we talked about with SEM9. Oh, sorry, Dewish team. We're like, there's so many parts of the map that have been burning. This is why it's a 0-7 team. And against SEM9, like, decision-making has been questionable at times.
Yeah, and like right there, WSL, he makes the correct move, right? But in the mid lane, his mid laner just throws whatever plan he has into the dumpster. So Xiaotu that was a skill shot he did not want to land.
Yep.
And it cost his team quite a bit there. And Caspiel, he's been doing a fantastic job on this Senna. He's been roaming around, he's been able to farm souls and walking with Arashi, so he's played this out really, really well.
Nice caster curse.
Oh,
nice little caster curse. Well done, Nightstar here.
Curse.
But however, the double root means that Caspiel will survive. So yeah, he's okay for now. And look, Xiaotu is making his way down, but we're going to question if Dewish team want to continue this play up because they have constantly been trying to dive bot over and over again. But the problem is Axon's ult up, Caspiel's ult up, Nightstar. I don't think this is repeatable unless you get everything flushed out.
And the other thing is, even if you gank this Scion over and over again, what does it do? Right? He's still going to be very effective on low econ, although Shiadodo possibly caught out, has the package available. That's going to be huge with this dragon coming up. They throw down a Rift Herald, but they could get caught out.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, I'm still skeptical. Arashi's huge.
Tower down.
Collateral damage is almost up as well, and you're right. First Turret Blood goes over to Shiadodo and Arashi. SEM9 now with 3k gold. This early game is magnificent when it shouldn't have been. Like, we talk so much about this team's flaws in draft, and they've gotten away with murder here. As speaking of which, I mean, like, Hyunai is suffering amidst the Herald charge mid.
Yeah, and this wasn't an Ignite mid laner. They should have had a lot more mid jungle priority than what has actually happened.
With electric
yeah, you're packing so much damage. You have to look for these 2v2 skirmishes, but they've missed their timing window by a large margin. And now SEM9, this is where their composition really starts to turn online. You've got triple range, but Bang 2, he's out on his own.
He arcane shifts. He's now flashed. That was just questionable here from the AD carry of Dewish team. Onto Dragon. They want to steal it away, but nope.
No.
SEM9 just walked back in. Flash here from Arashi. Gorgeous again. This Graves jungle on point this game as the blast code comes through with the piercing darkness from Caspiel, but still surviving is Enhout with the stand behind me. Nightstar, I'm feeling it. This is it. I think SEM9 are on the journey to picking up their first win. It's a little bit early, but I will say they are obliterating Dewish team.
Yeah, they are so far ahead. 5k gold lead with the better scaling composition. And yes, the skirmishing power still high from Dewish team. But this is a team that has struggled to find their own opportunities to try and flip the game. Just like what we saw in that Impunity game. Impunity struggling there, and Xiaotu is out on a journey.
Oh, yeah, he is. Hey, Arashi, do you want another kill? He's going to clips first, by the way. I'm not even going to talk about the kill. I mean, Xiaotu just caught out again, and as WSL goes in, I'm not even sure.
Two levels down.
Yeah, I don't know why WSL wants to take this. What would SOFM like to do? That's exactly what he would do. He'd go for the invade, and he'd be a little bit risque. So he walks away from the Eclipse Graves. What more can you say rather than things just keep going wrong for Dewish team? I wish right now they had some dew because that would put out the fire that keeps on resonating in this early game.
Yeah, this is not a good look for Dewish team here as we get to see the replay. We get to see how Xiaotu does get caught. Oh, does he get the solo kill? Okay, maybe.
Wait.
Okay, so that's how he dies so deep, because he gets the solo kill. You know what? Credit to him. But, you know, all in all, the gold trade is still favorable for SEM9 because they are able to get the assist gold. So things still working out for them, even though Shiadodo, I mean, he gets picked off, but he's quirky. He's still scaling.
That's right. I mean, I think you giving compliment to Xiaotu is nice because we have been, you know, we've been criticizing him quite a bit. Yeah. But to be fair, he also deserved it. So I feel like the play gets something back for a team that is sorely lacking in options right now. Is Dewish team still items behind as WSL has to get over the wall, but it's because it's in front of Herald. This 2-dragon team of SEM9 is setting up for the second Herald, and Dewish team have just been chunked out before they even approach the objective.
Lakunai also in base. not going to be able to get here for a long time. Dewish team, they're just not set up for this.
Yeah, well, there is a Mega Gnar ulti stolen, but he doesn't connect. Xiaotu doesn't find any connection whatsoever. And even No Name in Mini Gnar is going to look for the 1v1 on this Silas mid. Very ambitious as the fight goes on the right side as well. Accent joins on in, but Xiaotu dies to a Mini Gnar. WSL maybe not emulating SOFM as much as I thought, as Enhow. It's too early to block all the damage, especially with SEM9 so far ahead. This could be it, a groundbreaking moment with SEM9 looking pretty close to their first game win of the year.
Oh, and it's not even just them crawling to a victory. Right now, they are full-on sprinting towards that finish line, out to a 7K gold lead, only 15.5 minutes into the game, and there's just no signs of life coming in from Dewish team.
Yep.
Maybe Xiaotu is the only one showing up even a little bit of a bite, but even then, you just see him getting soloed out on the side against this Mini Gnar. And Dewish team, they try and commit to the fight on the other side, but the majority of their damage is on Xiaotu. With this, you know, if he gets the Silas Mega Gnar, that really is the majority of their damage right there. They're very, very alt reliant right now. And if they don't hit the Wombo, they don't hit anything.
Yeah, and the game might even end before we see, like, the items on par, right? We did talk a lot about, will Dewish team have options in the early lane, even the mid game, right? The skirmishing should be one of the strongest points of this team. But it's easy scaling for SEM9 already with almost 2 items on their jungler. Excuse me, almost 2 items in the top lane. We have a Scion who's already beefy enough, and it's just running into the enemy jungle. And with third dragon on the horizon, a 7,000 gold lead staring Dewish team in the face. Options right now, as you said, the perfect team fight engage, the perfect ultis. It just doesn't look viable when Arashi will one-shot you being 2 levels up over your own team's jungler.
Xiaotu doesn't even have a mythic completed here for this fight. This is a very opportunistic fight that they just have to take to deny the dragon stacking.
Okay, well, SEM9, their jungle gets in. At least the bounty goes down as WSL now starts getting hit. But look at that package. Line it up, Sharedoodoo. You know exactly where to go. But then how blocks for now. The package, a bit abysmal. SEM9 need to clean this one up as Axon gets ignited and will drop down. But going golden in the nick of time might save his life as No Name's here with an ulti. But Mini Gnar in the nick of time. Axon survives on the back end while Xiaotu still dies. But this Mini Gnar means business. He doesn't need the Mega Gnar to clean this up as he gets the 3-hit passive. The slows there. Lacuna is going to die as well. And No Name is coming at them like he's got the best name in the world.
Oh my god. 3-0-2. I mean, it's essentially 480 carries, right? Because we haven't seen the Mega Gnar really play a factor in these fights. It's just been the Mini Gnar along with 3 other marksmen, Corki, Senna, and Graves. And so far, 3 out of the 4 have had insane success. And the Senna has played a really important role in just keeping the rest of the team up, but now No Name might have spent a little bit too much time.
Well, Xiaotu using the Hex Gates, that's going to cut him off. But my biggest problem here is that Arashi's nearby. Help your top laner. TP comes through from Axon. Xiaotu's still committing with the Mega Gnar ult Stoli. He uses it on Axon, but No Name, even a half HP with the Chain Lash, isn't dead. True Shot Barrage doesn't connect either. Dewish team are walking into a trap if they stick around. There's 5 members. You said it, Night Star. Look at the other 2. Yeah, SEM9 are channeling down mid.
Oh, they're stopping the backs.
Oh, he's going to
stop the ports.
He's going to go Mega as well. If you walk into No Name, you will die. Glacial Prison's there, but he's too far away. Behind the rest of his team is Axon. He's taking no damage. Dewish team is a 5-man stack, are losing mid still. No one's backed away. This team, we still called Hurricane Gaming because it's a whirlwind of emotions right now. As Lacuna jumps in once more and Arashi has no batter to clean it all up and doesn't really need it. 4 still stand here. The poke in mid.
What is going on?
It continues. Dewish team, what are you doing? Xiaotu's going to get traded. Axon has done his job as he flashes away. The Glacial Prison, the Fisher, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. Look at mid. The bottom left is where we should be looking. As Dewish team, what is this? What are we casting? What is happening? The TP back means the game's not going to end, but that was just ridiculous. What the hell was that?
I think they're sponsored by Benny Hill.
Yeah, you said it, sir. You said it. What was that? Oh my God, Nightstar, take the wheel. Take the wheel.
Oh my lord, that was a sequence of events, Hysterics. I'm sure we'll get some sort of replay. I don't even know how long this replay will be because they could literally just have 30 seconds replay. But then we'll miss probably something else on the map. But Dewish team, you gotta give them credit for trying to force a play, but at some point in time, you also have to call the play off. And Dewish team just refused to do so. They just wasted so much time in that bot lane trying to find the man advantage fight that they just lost way too much into that mid lane. SEM9, they are halfway across the finish line, but they still haven't gotten all the way across. They still have to finish the job, which is what they struggled to do yesterday against DCG. They were very close, but just came short.
Yeah.
It should be easier to do with a 10k gold lead, though.
I mean, I don't even think it's the gold lead. I just think it's based on what we saw. Decision making from SEM9 so far has been pretty clean, right? Like stopping the backs, the two-man push mid. They're waiting for the TP to come through. As I say that, but Shadow is still a Valkyrie away with Corki having the flash. And, you know, Dewish team in the last play got the dragon,
No name
right?
hunting.
But as they stayed in the bottom lane, please, I don't want to look at bot anymore. Xiaotu with the stolen ulti. Glacial Prison forced the flash as No Name's about to go to Meganar. But look, Baron's going to get started here. While Share Dodo is going to play a roundabout, making sure WSL gets nowhere near.
Let's have to play a little bit conservative.
Run.
That's
He's
Mega.
Mega. Dewish team in a choke versus Meganar. The jungler's dead. Given the Supreme ulti, only on the Xiaotu this time around, but Dewish team still dead.
Oh no, that's not where you want to go.
He jumps on in. SEM9 can feel it. They're laughing at Dewish team right now. They've played yakety sacks in the bottom lane. SEM9 Nightstar. This is it. This is their moment.
This is indeed their moment. They are one tower, one Nexus away from securing their first organizational win. Dewish team, can they stop it?
This year, I mean, 3 people in front of the Nexus. SEM9 making history, killing down Dewish team, their first game win of the year. This team no longer winless. It's gotta feel good after that game we just witnessed. SEM9 might not be going to World, but they're going straight to my heart with that win.
SEM9, they've secured their first win this year, their first win in an organization, and they finally did it with